Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 25 based on novel. So let's start. In the City Lord's mansion, 5 incarnations of divine power gathered here and sat down. At the same time, 8 formation masters were captured alive. This time, the Food Nation forces sent a group of top eternal true gods. Mo Lixiao said, according to the 5 surviving formation masters, the Food Nation forces are tracking down all the information about the Huyang City formation map. The formation masters are only responsible for repairing a very small area. They know very little about the complete formation diagram. Huyang City Lord said, such a big commotion cannot be just for that little bit of information. The blood-scaled figure Wu Kulu said calmly, the formation masters know very little about the complete formation diagram, but they are very clear about the general layout of Huyang City's formation diagram. Everyone present agreed. Formation masters like Yan Qianyang can repair the formation of a small area. They have extremely high attainments in formation and can make a rough guess about the layout of the entire Huyang City formation by looking at the details. They must have a plan against the Huyang City formation. The leader of the Meiwu clan also said solemnly. Shuiyin is very patient and hasn't made such a big noise for a long time. Mo Lixiao said, I think we can report to the Marquis and ask for help. I agree. The capture of the formation master by the Food Nation is just the beginning. Once they really show their fangs, we may not be able to defend against them. Report it to the Marquis. Everyone agreed. They didn't even have time to cover up the incident of Meiwuchi massacring hundreds of millions of people in the city, so naturally they didn't dare to ask for help. However, when dealing with the power of the food country, they have every reason to ask for help. Luo Feng didn't know much about the open and covert struggles between the City Lord's mansion and the Food Kingdom, so he was temporarily living in Qianyang Gate. This is also a public statement, I will definitely protect Entianian. 2 days have passed in the blink of an eye. Luo Feng was strolling around the Qianyang sect, watching the disciples of the Qianyang sect refining secret treasures and weapons. Your Majesty. The third son of the Moyu family, Moyu Liuxing, who was instructing the younger generation, saw Luo Feng and hurriedly saluted. He is also quite talented in refining weapons, and with sufficient resources, he has already entered the realm of Void True God. The 3 brothers of the Moyu family, the eldest and the third are both Void True Gods, and only Moyu Qingyang, who followed Luo Feng, has always been a true god. Moyu Liuxing. Luo Feng looked at him with a smile, I heard that you got married? Yes, she is a senior sister I met after I joined Qianyang sect. Moyu Liuxing also showed a happy smile when he mentioned his wife. It seems that Qianyang sect is very suitable for you. Luo Feng said with a smile. There are countless creatures on the origin continent and most of them will never marry in their lifetime. After all, their lifespans are infinitely long, and there is no need to reproduce. Meeting a loved one who is willing to marry is a rare thing on the origin continent. Some extremely powerful beings have extraordinary bloodlines and will produce some descendants just to continue their bloodline. Qianyang sect is very suitable for me, and Master also guides us with all his heart. Moyu Liuxing said. Suddenly, Yan Qianyang came anxiously from a distance and flew to Luo Feng in just 2 steps. Brother Luo He. Yan Qianyang was a little anxious. Luo Feng waved to Moyu Liuxing, who immediately bowed and left. What's wrong? Luo Feng asked. 3 of the 8 formation masters who were captured before were killed. Yan Qianyang said, after their death, their families may encounter some troubles, so I am also keeping an eye on their situation. Yan Qianyang likes making friends, and these 3 are from the same circle, so naturally they are all his good friends. 2 of these 3 were swallowed up by Yun Baolu without a sound. Yun Baolu has branches in many major cities in Yu country, and mainly sells low and medium-end secret treasures and weapons. Yan Qianyang said, the Qianyang sect I founded and some shops of other weapon refining masters are all small businesses. Yun Baolu is a large-scale commercial force. Luo Feng listened. How many points can I get for selling weapons and secret treasures to the eternal true God in 1 century? Selling to the true God and the void true God is the most profitable because the incomparably huge number is enough to accumulate terrifying wealth. Just like the God Kings and Chaos Lords, they can only receive the most massive resources by collecting residence fees from the vast number of true God's people. Normally, Yunbaolu would not plunder local families, but this time, Yunbaolu did it. En Chenyang was angry. It must be that some eternal true gods in Yunbaolu's Huyang city branch got jealous and swallowed up those two families. In front of Yunbaolu, these two families had no way to resist. All the resources, materials, and shops accumulated by the two families over a long period of time were taken away silently. En Chenyang was furious. That's it. Yunbaolu is too powerful and didn't kill people in large numbers. Although these two families were completely ruined, they managed to save their lives because not many people died in the fight for the industry. But the Chifeng family is in a miserable state. They were targeted by the Dark Force Six Lords Alliance. More than half of the tens of thousands of core members of the Chifeng family died, and most of the resources were directly and forcibly plundered. The two children of the eternal true God were even taken to the Six Lords Alliance headquarters by the Thousand Eyes Lord of the Six Lords Alliance. En Chenyang said, I guess they forced the two children to hand over all the inherited resources to them. Brother Luohe, Lord Chifeng is my good friend. Most of his people died, and I want to protect his two children. En Chenyang looked at Luo Feng. The Six Lords Alliance will not give me face, so I ask Brother Luohe to help me. Luo Feng frowned when he heard this. The City Lord's mansion just watched helplessly. Those three formation masters were repairing the formation for the City Lord's mansion, which led to the disaster. Most of the eternal true gods in Huyang City have served the City Lord's mansion. When has the City Lord's mansion ever cared about the life and death of those eternal true gods? En Chenyang shook his head. Unless they completely surrender and become vassals, the City Lord's mansion will not care. Leave it to me. Luo Feng nodded, flew away, and glanced at Morosa, who was eating and drinking happily. With just one look, Morosa understood. Master. Morosa flew over immediately. Let's go out for a while. Luo Feng drove the flying boat and took Morosa straight to the headquarters of the Six Lords Alliance. There are a total of 18 dark forces in the entire Huyang city, and the Six Lords Alliance is one of them. The Six Lords Alliance headquarters is always dark, with a faint mist lingering, and a large number of internal members are moving around in the headquarters, busy with their own tasks. Inside one of the halls of the headquarters, the Chifeng siblings sat there, looking at the red-robed woman in front of them with fear. Your father is dead, so it's not a good thing for you to have treasures, but a bad thing. The red-robed woman sat there and laughed softly. Before, I asked your people to obediently transfer the family's resources, but they were reluctant. The result of their reluctance is that most of your people died. Now it's your turn. The red-robed woman looked at the brother and sister. You two are the only children of Lord Chifeng. He must have made arrangements for you. I guess he has also left some resources for you in the Yangfeng Hall. Do as I say, contact the Yangfeng Guild immediately and transfer all the resources to me. Then you can survive. Otherwise, you will die, and everything will be in vain. The red-robed woman looked at the two fat sheep. As one of the leaders of the Dark Forces, she has been hunting fat sheep for a long time. After the death of Lord Chifeng, his two children naturally became fat sheep. For example, after Jiao Rongyan died, his daughter Jiao Rongqi could be considered a fat sheep, but Jiao Rongqi had been living in the cave of the Moli clan and had not encountered any trouble. Fortunately, I acted quickly enough, otherwise if I was slower, it would have been taken away by other dark forces. The red-robed woman Chan Yaojun thought. At this moment, Luo Feng had already brought Morosa to the Six Lords Alliance headquarters on a flying boat. After putting away the flying boat, Luo Feng and Morosa appeared in front of the main entrance of the Six Lords Alliance headquarters. Master? Kill them? Morosa was ready to make a move. Luo Feng had already taken a step forward. Boom tilde tilde tilde. Entering the Six Lords Alliance headquarters without permission naturally caused a counterattack from the headquarters formation. The Dark Formation roared with power, crushing towards Luo Feng, trying to tear him apart. What's going on? Many members of the Six Lords Alliance headquarters, including the Eternal True Gods who were currently at the headquarters, were a little surprised. Luo Feng brought Morosa into the headquarters. The invisible energy that naturally formed around his body was able to crush the power of the formation. As he entered the headquarters, Luo Feng instantly locked onto Chen Jun, and also discovered the brother and sister of the Chifeng family beside the red-robed woman, Chen Jun. Naturally, Chen Yang had already given Luo Feng the information about the brother and sister. Lord Luoha. Lord Baiwu of the Six Lords Alliance called out from afar. Boom! Luo Feng took a step forward, and with Morosa, he rumbled through numerous obstacles, broke through the walls of the building, and came directly to the interior of the hall, appearing in front of Lord Chen Yang. Chen Yang Lord looked at Luo Feng in astonishment. Looking at the shattered rubble of the buildings around him, he smiled and saluted. Chen Yang Lord greets Luoha Lord. Lord Luoha. At this moment, the other two Eternal True Gods, Lord White Mist and Lord Prisoner Wind, who were in the headquarters, flew over in a hurry. They were all very polite and humble, not daring to offend in the slightest. Luo Feng looked at the red-robed woman. Thousand Eyes Lord, you are the one who attacked the Chifeng family? The red-robed woman guessed something instantly and said quickly, I was protecting the two children of Lord Chifeng. I didn't kill those members of the Chifeng family. She was the one who killed him. The brother and sister in the corner of the hall, although the older brother was terrified, still gritted his teeth and shouted those words. The red-robed woman looked at the brother and sister with some shock and anger. Lord Luoha, the red-robed woman was about to explain when she saw Lord Luoha in front of her extending his hand. She didn't care about anything else and instantly used her true form to save her life. A huge monster was distorted and appeared, with strange eyes on its surface. She did have more than 1,000 eyes that could hurt the enemy's soul. Luo Feng stretched out his hand seemingly normally, but he passed through the huge monster and crushed the heart of the true god. Only the distorted body of the true god was left falling. Luo Feng waved his hand and collected the body. Lord Baiwu and Lord Chiefeng were both a little dazed at the scene in front of them. Although Lord Qianyang was not as good as President Blood Python, he was also an extremely powerful eternal true god. However, he had no ability to resist Lord Luoha. Does the death of a large number of members of the Chifeng family have anything to do with you? Luo Feng looked at the two of them. Lord Baiwu and Lord Chiefeng hurriedly shook their heads. They knew that if they gave a bad answer, they would both die. The members of the Six Lords Alliance headquarters could vaguely see the figures of Luo Feng, Baiwu Juan and Chiao Feng-jun through the damaged building. These ordinary members were trembling with fear and did not dare to get close. Lord Baiwu and Lord Chiefeng were both extremely frightened, fearing that they would end up like Lord Qianyang. It has nothing to do with us, Baiwu Juan said anxiously. That is the prey of Thousand Eyes Lord. She will never allow us to interfere. Prisoner Wind Lord also said, and we have advised her that after all, they are the descendants of the eternal true God, and we can't do anything too ugly. But she didn't listen at all. Baiwu Juan also said, most of the eternal true gods in the entire Huyang city are acquainted with each other, so we should be more restrained in what we do. But Chan Yan Jun is crazy and acts recklessly. Luo Feng frowned slightly. Mr. Baiwu and Mr. Chiofeng immediately shut up. The intelligence I know also says that it was done by Lord Qianyang. So you can escape. Luo Feng said coldly. Baiwu Juan and Chiao Feng-jun secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Only when facing Luoha Divine Lord could they feel the suffocating pressure. They had no doubt that if they disagreed, Luoha Divine Lord would crush them to death. I will kill Thousand Eyes Lord who took direct action. As for the 5 of you, well, I will fine you 300,000 cosmic sands and spare your lives. Luo Feng said calmly. 300,000 cosmic sands? Lord Baiwu and Lord Chiofeng looked at each other, and they immediately contacted the other 3 companions through communication orders. They were afraid of Lord Luoha. But 300,000 cosmic sands is indeed a huge fortune. If divided equally, each of the 5 of them would have to take out 60,000 cosmic sands. They also have to spend a lot of resources on cultivation, and also have to buy inheritance, secret treasures and weapons. Most of them can't take out so much. Lord Lorha, we immediately contacted the other 3 companions. Lord Baiwu said flatteringly, but we have consumed a lot of resources ourselves, and we can't produce much cosmic sand. If you can't produce it, you can die. Luo Feng looked at them. He had no sympathy for the eternal true gods of the dark forces. No. Lord Qiufeng explained, we can collect some cosmic sand by selling our secret treasures and weapons, but in the past 20 centuries, we have never offended the Lord of God. The 5 of us were not involved in the affairs of the Qiufeng family, and we are also wronged. Can the Lord of God have pity on us and reduce the punishment? 300,000 cosmic sands is a lot of pressure for us. You dark forces, are you going to start being reasonable one day? Luo Feng looked at them with a half smile, aren't you always hunting? You randomly select a large number of prey in your own territory and hunt them wantonly. Did those prey provoke you? Lord Baiwu and Lord Qiufeng were silent. You kill and plunder all living things for your own benefit. I will kill all of you without any injustice. You are everywhere in the origin continent, and I, a small eternal true God, cannot control you. But if you are caught by me, I will kill you and punish you. Do you still have any objections? Luo Feng looked at them. Since you are bargaining, the price of your lives has changed to 500,000 cosmic sands. You 5 eternal true gods of the 6 Lords Alliance, if you take out 500,000 cosmic sands, you can live. If you can't, you will die. Luo Feng said leisurely, I will give you 1 day to prepare. 500,000 cosmic sands? Lord Baiwu and Lord Qiufeng were trembling with fear. Any other opinions? Luo Feng looked at them. No objection, no objection. Lord Baiwu and Lord Qiufeng immediately shook their heads and no longer dared to talk about reason. By the way, please pass a message to the 3 eternal true gods of Yunbao Tower. Luo Feng ordered, say that Yunbao Tower swallowed up the resources of the 2 major families. Considering that they did not wantonly slaughter people, the fine they will be given is the same as your 6 Lords Alliance, which is 500,000 cosmic sands. Give them 1 day to prepare. The fine for Yunbao Tower is also 500,000 cosmic sands. Lord Baiwu and Lord Qiufeng inexplicably felt that it was a lot better. It seems that the 6 Lords Alliance is not the only ones who are unlucky. We will definitely pass on the message. Baiwu Juan and the others responded in succession. You only have 1 day. After Luo Feng finished speaking, he took in the 2 siblings from the Qiufeng family who had been hiding in the corner with trembling hearts, and then left with Morosa. In just a few steps, they were out of the 6 Lords Alliance headquarters and then flew away on a flying boat. Mr. Baiwu and Mr. Qiufeng watched this scene silently. The City Lord's mansion finally surrendered to Lord Lorha. We couldn't resist at all. Lord Qiufeng sighed. That idiot Chanyang Jun, I told you long ago that when looking for prey, don't attack the forces of the eternal true God, there will be endless troubles, but she just wouldn't listen. Not only did she die, but she also caused each of us to pay 100,000 cosmic sands. Lord Luan is also an idiot. He asked us to talk to Lord Lorha, but the price went up instead. 300,000 cosmic sands became 500,000 cosmic sands. Lord Qiufeng was so angry that his teeth were itching. Lord Lorha asked us to pass on a message, so let's also pass it on to Yunbao Tower. Lord Baiwu immediately took out the communication order and began to deliver the message. The branch of Yunbao Tower in Huyang City is guarded by 3 eternal true gods. The Chaos Lord is behind Yunbao Tower, so even though it is a branch, all parties in Huyang City will give them face and will not easily provoke Yunbao Tower. Even the forces of the Food Kingdom will not easily conflict with the branches of the big forces. What? The owner and 2 deputy owners of Yunbao Tower were a little confused when they heard the news. This Lorha god is so bold. He dares to ask us to hand over 500,000 cosmic sands. Our Yunbao Tower was founded by Qianbao Hu. How dare he bully our Yunbao Tower like this? Who wouldn't give the three of them some face in Huyang City? The branches of major forces are relatively detached. Although they are not as high as the Yangfeng Guild Hall branch, they can also frequently interact with the five major families. What should we do? Black mist was surrounding the body of Yunbao Tower Master, and his huge single eye contained anger. Lord Luohe is too much, but we cannot report this to the Marquis. Firstly, we are trying to gain benefits privately, and the Marquis will punish us severely if he knows. Secondly, Yunbaolu's business is spread across most cities in Yu State, and the affairs of each city are countless. The Marquis will not care about these trivial matters at all. Because the Marquis was too lazy to care and only cared about the final account, they dared to take advantage of the name of Yunbao Tower. If the three eternal true gods swallowed up all the resources of the two formation masters' families, there would be a big backlash. For example, the Thousand Eyes Lord had to rely on killing to force the transfer of resources. But with the reputation of Yunbao Tower, we can intimidate all parties and get things done quietly. After so many years, they have become very skilled at doing this kind of thing. The income that Yunbaolu gave them was too little. This kind of benefit was the main source of their income. 500,000 cosmic sands are too much. The host said, I will go to visit Lord Wei. If Lord Wei is willing to help, he should be able to resolve this matter. The two deputy hosts nodded. Yes, Lord Wei. If Lord Wei is willing to help, this is just a small matter. For them, 500,000 cosmic sands would require them to sell all their armor and weapons to get the money. Half of their lives have been squeezed out, so naturally they would try to delay it. Jianbao would not care about such a small matter, and they did not dare to say anything, so they could only find a solution themselves. After much thought, the five major families dare not anger Lord Luohe, so they can only count on Lord Wei. I'll be there now. The owner of Yunbao Tower did not dare to delay and visited Lord Wei immediately. Not long. The owner of Yunbao Tower is back. How is it? The two deputy building owners felt that it was not good. If there was good news, it might have been announced in advance. The huge one eye of the owner of Yunbao Tower was full of frustration. Wei Shenzhen refused and scolded us, asking us to hand over 500,000 cosmic sands obediently. Based on her judgment of Luohe Shenzhen, if we don't hand it over, Luohe Shenzhen will probably take action. Luo, he dares to kill us? A deputy owner of the building was anxious. He dared to kill the five major families. Do you think he dares to kill us? Alas, the Marquis will not interfere in the disputes among us eternal true gods. The owner of Yunbao Tower shook his head. Forget it, just bear with N.A. Luohe. He is so arrogant, he will definitely get into trouble one day. Killing the five major families and threatening us, if you continue to be so arrogant, there will be a backlash. The two deputy building owners felt distressed, and they felt sorry for Universe Sand. The three of us will each take out a portion of the 500,000 cosmic sands. The owner of Yunbao Tower said. Before, you took half of the benefits and we split the remaining half. It should be the same this time. You pay 250,000 cosmic sands and we both pay 250,000 cosmic sands together. The two deputy owners stood together. They were much poorer than the owner of the building. I can't afford 250,000 cosmic sands right now. You can sell the treasure, or you can borrow it. This Lord Luohe is so cruel. He wants my alliance of 6 lords to provide 500,000 cosmic sands. The alliance of 6 lords was also worried about how to collect 500,000 cosmic sands. This day, Luo Feng broke into the 6 lords alliance headquarters without hiding it, and the news naturally fermented in Huyang City. The 6 lords alliance and the Yunbao building branches owners and vice owners were all trying to sell treasures to collect cosmic sand, and naturally the news slowly spread. Kill the Thousand-Eyed Lord and make the 6 Lords Alliance and the Yunbao Tower branch hand over 500,000 cosmic sands respectively? This news caused various forces in Huyang City to look at it with a bit of surprise. After being silent for more than 20 centuries, Lord Luohe was still so arrogant and rude. Lord Luohe. Bai Wujuan and Yunbao Tower Master came to Qianyang Gate together to visit Luo Feng. It was no secret to the eternal true gods of Huyang City that Luo Feng was temporarily staying at Qianyang Sect. They came within a day. Luo Feng stood up, and En Qianyang and Morosa followed and watched. It was our recklessness that angered the Lord God. Please calm down. Lord Bai Wu respectfully presented the jade bottle. This is 500,000 cosmic sands. We have already collected them all. Please calm down, Lord God. The owner of Yunbao Tower did not dare to be arrogant at this moment, and also presented the jade bottle. This is 500,000 cosmic sands, and we have also properly settled the descendants of the two major families. En Qianyang looked at this scene and sighed secretly. People like En Qianyang's disciples and the rescued brother and sister from the Chifeng family all saw this scene from a distance. The two major forces in Huyang City paid a respectful visit and handed over 500,000 cosmic sands without any complaints. This scene was quite stimulating to these disciples and the brothers and sisters of the Chifeng family. Okay, you can go now. Luo Feng took the two jade bottles, and with a quick scan with his divine power, he was able to confirm that all the cosmic sand was present. Mr. Bai Wu and the owner of Yunbao Tower bowed and said goodbye. After they left, some disciples who were watching from a distance began to talk about it. Have you seen the might of Lord Luohe? A woman beside Mo Yu Liuxing exclaimed, Liuxing, I heard that you had a chance to follow Lord Luohe before. But you gave up. I didn't want to take the risk. Mo Yu Liuxing smiled at his wife. Although I gave up, it was my second brother who followed the Divine Lord in the end, and I also met you, senior sister, when I came to Qianyang Sect. The woman smiled and said with emotion, but you did miss a great opportunity. She felt a little sorry for her husband. On the path of spiritual practice, she knew very well how important a great opportunity was. En Qianyang and Luo Feng walked side by side in Qianyang Sect. In just one day, 1 million cosmic sands were given to him obediently. I'm really enlightened. En Qianyang sighed. The three eternal true gods who died, I'm afraid the family will have a hard time after their death. Luo Feng said, I know you will take care of them, but since I got a fortune from them, I naturally have to show some appreciation. Luo Feng handed a jade bottle to En Qianyang. There's not much in here, only 30,000 cosmic sands. You can use it to settle the three families. 30,000 cosmic sands are a lot. Even an ordinary eternal true god would not have so much even if he used up all his treasures. En Qianyang Lion said, it's just to settle the family and clan. There's no need for too much. You decide on the arrangements. Luo Feng placed the jade bottle in En Qianyang's hand. En Qianyang did not refuse again. Luo Feng looked at the night sky in the distance. I will be in seclusion for a while, you should be careful. Now that you have accumulated enough wealth, it's time to practice body training for the third time. This video will end here.